Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the club call. Apologies for being late. One member of our team can't do his job properly.
Really sorry about that. I apologise.
Stop making coffees with the red men.
They were done. The coffees were done. It was someone who told me at 10 to 5 he was setting the stream up, and at 20 past 5 went, that's not set up.
No, it was a shoulder stream. It was a shoulder stream. He was, stop talking. No one cares. No one wants your opinion on anything. It was a shoulder stream that he was setting up, apparently. Came over and jumped a lemonade. Anyway, it is the club call. Please get in touch with us on Toffee TV Premier. The link probably, maybe, I'm not 100% sure, might be at the top of...
I think it isn't at the moment,
It
but
isn't
it will
at the
be.
moment, okay.
No, it might be. It might be. I haven't refreshed.
It will be in a moment.
So get in touch.
Please get in touch. There's lots to talk about. Whether it's Dele on the way to Turkey to get his teeth done, whether it's last night's tremendous victory in the second round of the Carabao Cup, whether it's Rondon and the possibility that he might start up front on Saturday against Brentford. The transfer deadline is 8 days away. Anything you want to talk about? The possibility of having another midfielder injured on Saturday. Lewis Warrington playing last night, done well. Whatever it is, a change of formation, 3 in midfield. Anything you want to talk about, get in touch with us and let's have a chat about it on the old club call. It's your opportunity. Last week's was phenomenal. We had so many callers. It was brilliant. I want that again tonight because it's so much better when it's you guys talking and not, well, certainly not me.
No, not us.
Because we've been talking all day and I want to rest my voice.
Dick L says, I see Josh Bowler is getting a move apparently to the Premier League.
Is he? Yeah.
I'm not fussed we let him go, but I think it's a shame we got no money for him. And you have to wonder if a player like that should have at least got a couple of games before being shown the
Maybe
door.
he goes to my gym. I might ask him.
Ask him where he's going.
Well, I mean, that would be hard considering I don't go to the gym. But
Yeah. Says Josh says we could probably say that with a few players there's been mismanagement of our youth for some time. Not getting any minutes, staying with the 21s for too long. I think now we'll see better for the youth. Fleetwood and the US tour was a good start.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Mike Barrett simply says Agent Ned strikes again.
Yeah. I haven't quite worked out who he's an agent for yet.
No.
But
It's not for us.
It's
certainly not for us. But there you go.
There you go.
Stuff happens.
We'll Colleen Rooney. We'll get
Yeah.
We'll get
to the bottom of
We'll
this.
get to the bottom of it.
Sonny, the link's there.
Is it there now?
It's just there, the link,
Yeah.
under the title.
Yeah, you'll
So
see it if
just
you-
click that and the guys will sort you out.
You'd like to think they will.
Danny says Garner, as in
Which one?
James Garner.
Maverick.
Jim Rockford
You'd have to be a certain age
Jim
to understand
says he'd be a sensational signing. Not sold on Brayton Diaz. He seems quite slow. That's just what we need, isn't it?
It is. Another slow player.
More slowness.
Another slow player.
In the Premier League, which is about pace and power. We go for slowness. But hey ho. There you go. But there you go. Richo says, Richo63 says, happy birthday, Goodison Park, 130 years old today.
Cracker.
There you go. We wish you Merry Christmas. That's not happy birthday, is it? Happy birthday. I don't know what's happened there. Something's happened there. It's me just thinking ahead to the time there's no football for 6 weeks. So exciting on the build up to Christmas.
Yes! Can't wait. Cannot wait.
Soph says, Baz, you not confident on Garner? I honestly don't know, Soph. I've seen today he's asked for them to terminate his contract. We'll see.
Well, he terminated Dingo's contract, didn't he?
And the Herrera.
Herrera's, and he had 2 years left. So why won't you do that for us?
Because I don't think anyone's interested in Herrera the same way.
I know, but it's only us.
I know, but he's probably thinking we can get some dough.
Have they met us?
What's mad about this is, the deal was practically done. And now it's a standstill, but we'll see. We'll see. The Matty Bush says thought Patterson had his best game last night. Should have scored the one-on-one.
But he was playing against Fleetwood.
He's got better though, I think.
No, that's what I'm saying. I mean, saying his best game was only against Fleetwood. I mean, but he is getting stronger and more confident and probably fitter as well, adapting to the Premier League. And it was good that they didn't leave him out last night, and they could have left him out and played Seamus there and put another centre back in. So it is good that they played him, and I think a lad his age should be playing every game, should want to play every game.
Sure he does.
And getting into the...
he done what he did, 60 odd minutes he done, didn't he? Sound.
Good stuff.
Sound. Now I'm getting to know more and more the way we play, getting used to the English game as well. It was only his 5th game in English football. Yeah. So, you know...
Getting used to the way we play. Is anyone quite sure?
I think there is a way we play. I think it's being let down by what's at the top end of the pitch.
By the players.
I think if we'd have had, we were kind of trying to play with these players, but it was Richarlison and Dom. I think Everton would have 7 points now out of fair, and everyone would be talking about how, you know, like the way we're playing and all that. The fact they've got nothing at the top end to put the ball in the net.
That is true.
That's the issue.
That is true.
Dick L thought you were a bit harsh on Dwight McNeil's performance last night, although he did say, "But you're spot on."
See, that's what I don't understand. That's what I don't understand about Evertonians, is that we are prepared to say things and then we don't necessarily back them up by, you know, if you don't necessarily think someone's a good player, why defend it? I don't understand that. If you think someone's not a very good player, then just back it up. I don't think Dwight McNeil's a very good player. I don't think he'll move us on. I don't think that he's what we need. I have nothing, obviously, against the lad. I just don't think I don't think he will move any. I see people saying, let him get into it and all the rest of it. I don't ever see him being a player that moves Everton.
But what about forward. A player who just becomes part of the squad?
I don't want any more of those players. I just don't. I think if this is how it works, you get better players, you go higher up in the table because you're a better team. If you buy similar players to what you've already got, you won't go anywhere. While other teams are buying better players, it's dead easy to just. He's a fine player to have in a squad, but when you're buying players that you need every single one of them to be a little bit better than what you've already got, I don't think he is.
Okay.
And I don't see anything in him that's going to take it. He's slow. He's got a decent left foot. I don't think he's got a trick in him because he's slow. I just don't see anything in him that's going to make an Everton team better. So,
see how we go.
Yeah.
Alex6691 says Besiktas have already announced Dele.
No, they haven't. A Besiktas fan account with 2.3 million followers announced it. So it's not the club.
Okay. James Gunn is laughing faces of rejecting 60 million for Anthony Gordon. Okay, Matthew Bush says, I think we now know McNeil's just a squad player. Daniel says, I hold my hands up, I thought Iwobi was crap, but he's been redeeming himself in what has been a poor period. So fair enough.
Yeah, and what I would say is, people will look at the Dwight McNeil situation and say, there's proof that a player can improve and make your team better. The difference is, when we bought Iwobi, he was actually a good player from a good team and just never lived up to the expectations.
McNeil did have a couple of seasons ago. No, I'm just saying, I'm just giving you the thing. A couple of seasons ago, he looked like, but when he's 20, he looked like he was good. Last season, he didn't have a good season whatsoever, and we've bought him off the back of that, obviously.
Yeah.
look at him and I just think, he's not what we needed. We needed power and pace. He's not power and pace.
But this is what I was saying at dinner time when we done the show on Premier is, it's fine to say if you don't think someone's a good. I don't think he's a player that can take Everton for. Is he a good player? Well, of course he's a good player. He plays in the Premier League. Is he the kind of signing that has got the dynamism to move Everton forward? I don't think he has. Now, you could say, well, he's going to be part of the squad and we're going to turn the squad around. Fine, and I get that. But we're going into the last week of the transfer window and we haven't got what we need for the actual first team. And I just struggle to see where he fits in, especially when you haven't got a centre forward.
Jay says, I think Frank is a very, very naive manager. Naive comments and seems to have a naive attitude towards the type of players we need. Steve Kelly says, all right, lads, hope you're both well. Thanks to Dick with his daily update on current youngsters and ex-youngsters. Steve Lamps says, it's a shame Rondon hasn't got an English grandparent. He could have been backup for Harry Kane, the World Cup. Danny says, if other options start to dry up and time begins to run out, would you take Adama for 10 million? As you said, Baz, there's power and pace. There is, but another one that doesn't know where the net is, isn't he? He's another one who 1 or 2 goals. Otherwise, Wolves wouldn't be letting him go out the door. When he's on it and he's quick and strong. Don't get me wrong, we haven't got that kind of pace that he's got. There's no end product to it. We need goals, Danny, don't we? He's the type of player that if you've got a squad that has got goals in it, and you're looking for that extra, and you think we can play a certain way with him, and he just fits into your team, he can be very dangerous. He proved that a couple of seasons ago for Wolves. But
it's just someone else's cast off though, isn't he?
Wolves as well, though. Wolves is cast off. Steve P says, why are we so obsessed with signing slow players? It's seriously bizarre. Doesn't matter who the manager or the director of football is there a speed limit at this club? Why do we operate like it's 2003? Is there a speed limit? What a shout. The real Dante says, bring in Sa. Kieran Seary says, Rondon wouldn't improve Fleetwood's team. Okay. Lowe says we shouldn't be spending £20 million on squad players.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Especially when you haven't brought in what you actually need and you're scrambling around for it.
Jeffrey says Hayes from Fleetwood could replace Gordon. He couldn't.
Yeah, people raving about him last night.
Fair enough. But we're talking about like squad players and players that don't improve.
Yeah.
He doesn't improve.
That's what I'm saying.
In the slightest.
You've got to buy players who improve your team. You don't buy players that just keep you standing still. You've got to buy players to improve you. And as I said, Dwight McNeil, I don't think has improved us one tiny bit. He's added to the squad, and he might allow us to get rid of another squad player who's on maybe higher wages, but I don't think he's improved us one bit.
James really Gunn's just hit the nail on the head and said, come on guys, Hayes plays for Fleetwood, for sake. You guys need better. Obviously not an Everton fan, but looking at it and going, he plays in League One. Yeah. He was up against Reece Welch, to be fair to him, who was making his debut and all that. No, not for me. Not if you... Yeah, that blows my mind. Collins says, I personally think Sims would have been better option than Rondon. It's criminal the club left us in this situation, and everyone is to blame. I don't think we can hang it on just 1 or 2 people. The strikers have been Everton Football Club should have 4 centre forwards, all of a good level. With the money we've had and the wages we've paid, they should have 4 international strikers, whatever country they play for. Seems like Crystal Palace have got them. Crystal Palace have got them.
Brentford,
Wolves, Brentford have got 3 or 4 options, and we haven't. It's mad.
But the thing about it is, though, it doesn't seem like we're really in the market for one, because we've got our eyes fixed on one, and we don't seem to be doing anything to look around. So, anyway, we've got Holger on the line.
Hello,
you okay?
Yeah, hey Pet, hey Bass.
Hello, mate, you okay?
I'm fine. Just quickly before we go on to Everton, I just wanted to say I was on here last week talking about how I came to support Everton from Denmark, and it was because my dad was a supporter. Yeah. And I saw on the vid my audio jumped out right before I told how he got the Everton cards.
Yeah.
It was in bubblegum packs. In the 80s. It was in bubblegum packs. Brilliant. Just so we have cleared that now.
That's it. Now we know. Now we know.
That's right, Olga.
And I had to send my greetings from my dad also.
Oh, superb.
He wanted to say hi. But yeah, I saw the Fleetwood game last night. And I think there were some positives. I think Patterson did really, really, really well. Iwobi has just been a total different player. And it's amazing to see. I always liked him as a person, but I questioned his ability to really be a player here at Everton. But he's starting to show that he's up for it. I thought McNeil was very underwhelming, to be fair. It wasn't really good enough. I thought he was slow on the ball. He looked a bit shaky. I felt didn't really look concentrated. And although it's a cup game and the most important thing is that we are through, I thought it wasn't really good enough when you look at where Fleetwood are and where we are. And I know we had a rotated squad, and we still missed that focal point in a striker, which we need to sort out because Rondon just isn't the answer to the question. Even if Calvert-Lewin is fit, it's a massive problem.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was. I mean, listen, it's always tough in this round. Everton have always struggled in this round every year because it's always a mix of players who haven't started the season, normally players who have just signed, and we always make a little bit of a mess of it. I think the main thing is we got through. It is disappointing. You're trying to build some kind of confidence out of it, but I think like we both said earlier on one of the shows, I think Frank Lampard probably would have looked at the game last night and thought this is another game, another pre-season game in a way. You expect to be Fleetwood now. There are less and less shocks these days because of the quality the Premier League clubs have in their squads compared to what the teams obviously in League 1, League 2 have. So, and I think I was listening to his after-match press conference, or certainly he's talking to Everton. He's talking about control, and I think that's the thing that does annoy me in these games is that I expect Premier League footballers to have a lot more control of the ball and not give it away needlessly in the middle of the park, and that does tend to creep in. But in the main, I watched the game, and at no point did I ever feel worried about Fleetwood, and I never really felt worried about the performance. It was just, for me, it was just about giving a lot of players a run out, and getting people like Onana, minutes and people like that. I think that's the bonus, and the young players coming on. So I'm not too worried about last night. As I said, I think it happens every year. Going back to what you said about Dwight McNeil, we mentioned that before. Actually, he did look a little bit like, I don't know, shaky's the word. Maybe he's just lacking confidence, and he looked a little bit like he wasn't, like he wasn't completely up for the game. Whereas you look at Iwobi, who's clearly got lots of confidence at the moment. He just strolled through that game last night. You could see the difference. But someone like Dwight McNeil, it shows you when confidence comes into it. Sometimes you can't tell the difference between players who are Premier League players and players who are below the standard when confidence does get involved. So, I'm just glad we're through.
Yeah, exactly. But I think the point for me with McNeil is like I thought he looked like someone who was in a relegation battle still, even though we are now in a new season and he's playing for a different team. I just thought he looked very tired and like very I don't know. Yeah, he looked like he didn't have any confidence at all. But I thought Onana did well. They targeted him a lot during the game, but he had a very good run in the last minutes where he got the ball and ran from our own halfway down to their penalty area, and then got us a free kick. And I don't really worry about these games either. It's all about getting through and all that. But what I would like to say, I thought was positive from the game is, and that's something that you guys have touched a lot on also, is the organization is very much better. I think when I look at the defense, I'm so much more like not nervous. Whereas last season it was like every time the ball came down to the three center halves, I was just like biting my nails, and I don't really have that feeling anymore. Even though we did have like someone like Michael Keane on, who I've been screaming about for the last half year, but he looked better, and I think it's been amazing that we have had the opportunity to get Tarkowski and Connor Cody in, because there you just get those like no nonsense established Premier League defenders who knows what it's about and takes responsibility, which I really think we have been lacking in the defense. So I think that's very good, but we need to get more signings in. I'm scratching my head over the Ghana situations. It's just every day you look at the phone and it's we're gonna sign him this week, or so, and then next week we're gonna sign him this week. So yeah, what do you think about the Ben Brereton Diaz links? Because I'm a bit unsure.
I'm not convinced by him at all, Holger. But to be fair, I haven't seen enough of him. At just the bits I've seen, I'm not convinced he's quick enough. And in a team that isn't quick, do we really need someone else who isn't quick enough? But there'll be people who've seen more of him than I have. But he's just not convincing me right now. If we got two in and he was one of them, you could give him a bit of time, maybe. But I would rather have... There's other players I would rather have before him, put it that way.
Definitely agree. I think you look at his goals and you think, okay, there's some... that's something we need, but can he cut it in the Premier League? It's a big question, and it's a risk if he's the only attacking player we get in now.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree. And that's not all on him, because obviously the lad's never played in the Premier League, so, and he might be able to do it. He come in and might be excellent, but it is a risk because he's never played in the Premier League, and we need some proven quality as well as potential. And there's other players I think who've possibly got a bit more potential in him who we could target, but
definitely he's I think it's just one of those things, isn't it? He's in the last year of his contract. You know, people have seen he's improved a lot over the last year playing internationals for Chile, but that's not really the measure of players anymore, international football. So he does predominantly play on the left. Yeah, I was saying about like Dwight McNeil. Has he got pace? I don't think Brereton's got that much pace. And does he move us forward? Well, he's an extra body in there. He's an extra body, but does he actually move us forward? I'm not 100% sure of that myself. But let's see what happens over the next week. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. But I think although 1-0 is a bit underwhelming against Fleetwood, there was a lot of positives. I like the look of the young players. I think Stanley Mills could be a hell of a player. I watched the American games, and I think he looks like someone who's really up for it. And I also like the whole scouting. The new, like, I actually really think Kevin Felwell, if he gets a striker in, he's done very well. And as you know, more strikers and a bit more of midfielders in. I think he's done well. And the players we're targeting, like James Garner, young, defensive-minded midfielder with a lot of potential. Onana is young. I like the look of the way the club looks at players now, but still a lot of work to do, and a striker or two is definitely needed.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, totally agree.
Let's hope we get one in. Holger, thanks for calling again.
Thanks,
mate.
Holger.
Absolutely superb.
Yeah, it was my pleasure.
Cheers.
See you guys.
And say hello to your dad for us.
Yeah, say hello to your dad.
Yeah, I will.
See you later.
Cheers,
mate.
mate.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
good start from Holger there over in Denmark.
I just want to wish Gary Ward a happy anniversary, 20th anniversary today. So enjoy.
Him in the cellar.
In the cellar, yeah. Hello. Jamie says, superb show, boys. Really enjoy it. Funny first time I've been on. Time out of 5. I have to be positive or I'd lose my mind over the transfer window. Those rose-tinted spectacles I have on regarding Frank are getting me worried. I just hope he pulls a couple of strikers out so I can keep the faith in him. Dick L says, is John-Philippe Gbamin injured again? And what about Niels and Kunku? Surely they should have been involved in the game last night.
I think we're trying to get them out, aren't we, by the looks of it? I mean, there's a report today that Gbamin's going to Turkey. On Kunku, we haven't seen him for a while, have we? He hasn't been playing for the under-21s either, so I'd imagine Everton are probably trying to get him out as well. Maybe I don't know, on loan with a new contract or whatever, but they've obviously made their mind up. He is, defensively, he is a little bit all over the place.
Because he's a winger, though.
And of course, we brought in a left-back on loan, so that would...
Jay says, how do I phone in? I click the link, it says enter room with camera, then time's out.
That's what you've got to do.
That's all you just keep trying it, Jay. Steve O says, I'd like to say how wrong can one be about a player in a Wobie. I've not seen a transformation as much as he's shown in the last 4 to 5 months. Fair play to the lad, he's knuckled down. Gaz says, I'm seriously starting to worry we will not try and strike him out. If money is the issue, we've turned down that kind of money for Gordon. Whoever makes that decision needs sacking. I don't care who it is, Thelwell, Frank or Jack Frost. Whoever it is has to go, as they're clearly not fit. What about the structure of the deal, though, Gareth, if it isn't right? Steve says, McNeil genuinely isn't an upgrade on Townsend, and that's the mad thing. And Townsend himself should never have been a starter. He was brought in to be a squad player. So what was the actual point of signing him? If he's going to be a squad player, we could have went to Europe and got one for 7 million who's better. Jake says, alright boys, hope you well. Hope totally agree with McNeil comments. I don't see where he fits and didn't think he was a very good player at Burnley. Comes across as lazy scouting when we couldn't establish a deal with Corney. I think a front three of Gray, Gordon and McNeil gets no more than 15 goals, and that would almost guarantee relegation. Can't argue, can you? Stuart says, can anyone explain to me why we're not all over Dembele from Leon?
Leon, yeah.
Seen a report saying he wasn't interested in Everton.
Well, maybe that's the reason. Right, we've got Brad on the line. Brad, are you there?
Brad, can you hear me?
Yeah, go on, mate.
Can hear you, Brad, yeah.
First of all,
hang on, no, can't hear you, Brad.
Okay, are you using a potato as your internet?
Brad, come on.
Your internet's all over the place, Brad.
I am in the middle of nowhere.
He's in the middle of
He's in the
nowhere.
bay.
I'm in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
I'm at work right now. So.
You've got a little bit of frog chorus going on,
I'll
but go
hold
on.
my hands up and say that if Dele actually is going out on loan, I'll be hold my hands up and say that I was eating crow and he's not going to actually come good, and that's kind of a sad thing to see. But whatever, I guess.
Yeah, it is.
It's frustrating, Mum.
And then
Is he riding a bike that needs
as far
WD-40 on?
No, I'm not.
Right, we'll have to leave, Brad. You have to cut Brad and try and get
Brad,
back.
try and call back. Try and call back, because we literally can't. I can only hear you riding your bike. Get WD-40 on, brother. Speak to you in a bit. I can only hear like that.
I know.
The chain going
honestly, people.
And he sounded like he had something good
to say. He does sound like
he
just that I don't know what it was.
No.
He's driving a Jeep, but it's like he's driving it off-road. So no, it's a Jeep.
He's driving a Jeep or a horse.
Or a bus.
Or a bus.
Or a bus.
A bus, the back wouldn't be behind.
A squeaky horse.
The back of the bus wouldn't be behind the bus. Look where the car is.
They're actually having an argument
Right.
over whether it was...
Dick L says, we knew what we were getting with Cody, so why didn't we sign him permanently and then McNeil on loan? Well, because Burnley probably didn't want him to go on loan. Danny says, I can't believe Patterson's only played 5 games in English football. I already can't imagine us without him.
Okay.
Fair play. He has looked, he has like helped the way we played. To be fair, like playing high up.
I think these two are genuinely arguing about where
I
Brad
tune
was.
out. I just tune out from them. Because
Honestly.
they just come out with madness. Where are we here?
God, where are you?
Eugene just giving us that address. A guy asked for and they said the potato to be terminated, the contract to be terminated. That's because of you, and then someone's put potato internet. Where's Astro's frog?
I do like that. Oh, no, that was the. You weren't here. Were you?
Yeah.
Oh, where was that?
I
Was
was
that 2
here
weeks
with
ago?
the frog chorus,
That was hilarious.
Eugene said he sounds like a Dalek.
Who was the squeak?
Norman Collier.
It's mad that sometimes you think you've at your end the internet's perfect, but actually when
That's
you
what
go
you
back
can
to it, you're like, what is that?
Edwards says Dele on the private jet currently. It's the 4th most tracked flight on the app.
Oh, their fans in
Their
Turkey
fans,
are
right,
nuts.
they
I mean,
can't
that
wait,
fan
can they?
account has got over 2 million, or even over 3 million. Not sure it was.
It's incredible.
That's
Isn't
incredible.
Kazuri says Michy Batshuayi, speed, power and link-up play, scored 14 goals for Besiktas.
Yeah, but he's never done it in the Premier League, has he? He's had about 87 loans. He's had more loans than me when I was
Would you
21.
rather watch him up front on Saturday for Everton or Rondon? No.
Oh, yeah.
So, Rich says, afternoon lads, love the channel and the work you guys do. Which 3 or 4 players would you want in? All seems very quiet again, as far as income. Hopefully, it's quiet because they're doing the work. The deals Everton have done so far this season have all been,
Quiet.
in general, quiet till it's done. The ones that there's been a lot of noise about haven't been done. So hopefully that's what's happening right now. James says, in regards to the Gordon stuff, if it was a drip feed payment over several years, then I can see why they turned it down. Yeah.
If they've come in for him and it doesn't give the ability for Everton to go out and buy like 2 players. I mean, don't forget, Everton already need 2 players, and then they'll need someone to replace him. So that's 3 players. If the deal doesn't give Everton the ability to do that, then what's the point?
What's the point? Yeah.
It's got to be favourable in Everton's deal. They're selling the crown jewels.
Well, there's a lad who gets in our team.
Yeah.
So, Tony Keggin said Norman Collier then. Mitch says, always wondered how bomb villains get decent connections inside the volcano, but I can't in the city.
They never had mobiles though, did they?
No.
You know what I mean? They had satellites, their own satellites that were capable of like blowing up a country.
Yeah. True. Tony Anderson said Benitez gambled on Don's fitness. Seems Lampard's doing the same. And Benitez got sacked. No more to say. Nothing more to say. Yeah. Jonathan says we seem to only be going for Premier experienced striker. All the French forward links have gone dead. Is Don back in first team training, says David. No, but he's doing light training outside.
He's on the grass, pardon me.
Andrew says every player we add has to be good enough to push an existing player to the bench. I don't get signings like McNeil, as he wouldn't displace Gordon or Gray. Would love to see an all or nothing documentary on what goes on behind the scenes. Because
that's why you'll never see one.
Because from the outside it seems like we go with the flow in any direction the wind takes us. Chris says, hey guys, I saw James Garner play for Forest a few times last season, and to be honest, I wasn't majorly impressed. I'm not confident he has the strength to cope with the Premier League. In the Championship, he was getting knocked over way too easily.
Where would he play in this Everton team?
No.
What would he be in a 3?
Be in a midfield 3. He'd have to come play in a 2. He'd have to play in a 3. He would. Chris is right. This is something I spoke to the Piv about, and he's not powerful enough to play in a 2. So Everton have to go to a 3. But then again, he's a hard worker. He is a nice footballer. So, Kev Rex says, does anyone think we signed McNeil to keep Burnley sweet over the financial stuff?
Maybe.
He has thrown in a conspiracy bomb there.
And I like it. I'm with you on that one.
Tony Bourbon
Tony Bourbon.
Yeah, he's been a Premier for years. Says, hope all this is not like the Giroud debacle all over again. Well, that cost Koeman his job, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Steve says, I can't get my head around why we're not going after Mathew Norman. Clearly better than James Garner. Anyone who watched them both will know that. He's the most underrated midfielder in the league last season. Great defensively, very good on the ball, which is rare with midfielders these days. And I can't imagine he'd cost more than 10 million. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was very good, and he was brilliant, Norman, for Norwich last season. Dick says, Dwight McNeil already looking like a poor transfer, but we should get behind him. I mean, let's be honest, Ned is disappointed from day one, and you lads continue to offer patience and support to him. That is true, Dick.
It's not about getting behind him. I've got no problem with that side of things. What it is for me is, it's this idea that you can't criticise poor judgment because it might affect the player's confidence or something. I just don't understand why we signed him. I really don't. I don't see where, like I said, I don't see where he necessarily fits into this team, and that worries me slightly. But I'll be behind the lad. I hope he does well. I hope he does well. Everton do well. It's as simple as that. But you're still allowed to question why we thought that was a good idea to bring in and how he fits into the whole system. You know, we mightn't have seen the whole system yet. We mightn't see how it plays out. Buying players like that to me is just strange, though. Players who've got no pace, players who have a poor record of goals and assists. Anyone, and I mean anyone, can drop on your left foot or your right foot and you just smash it in. It can happen to anyone. Didn't Traore score one last night for Wolves?
Did he?
It can happen to anybody. So that's not the norm, is it? So yeah. There's no point going on about it.
Finished.
Yeah. For now.
David says, hello guys, really poor performance yesterday. Okay. I'm sure the referee forgot his cards at home. Yeah. Also, do you think we're going to get another winger? Because our wingers aren't good enough. Don't know, David. Don't know is the real answer to that at the moment. And also, do you think we'll go for Guy if we sign Garner? I'd be surprised if we bring 2 more midfield players in. And no forwards, but who knows? But then again, we want Kudus, don't we? Although we can play off the wing as well. Bill says, so are they going to wait till deadline day now? A forward line of McNeil, Rondon and Gray. Barely a Premier League forward line. Liam Walsh says, lads, I'm honestly bottling it if we sell Gordon, because I'm worried we'll spunk the money on rubbish again and end up with 3 Dwight McNeils. Gotta trust them, haven't you? Craig says, maybe a bit unfair to judge Burton on this, but Adam Armstrong looked great at Blackburn. Yeah, that's my worry, to be honest. Kevin says, I can understand the frustration on how we're unable to get a striker across the line, but I do think we have to be realistic. Chelsea, with all their wealth, are getting Aubameyang, and it's clear we want a somewhat proven striker to come in. Please just get a few of these ins and outs across the line ahead of the game against Leeds. What about Sati? Stuart says, was Brad powering his own internet using a bike? If so, pedal faster. Did sound like it, to be fair. Bill says, where's the desperation for a forward? Do you think Breuer loan will be part of the Gordon deal? And where at the board in this radio silence smells very much like Bill Kenwright. Why is it always, I mean, I don't know, but why does it always go back to Bill Kenwright? It's like the board, and then it's always, yeah, Bill's not doing his job.
Common denominator, isn't it?
But it is.
No, but that's it, isn't it? It's the common denominator.
It is weird.
Right, we've got Ahmed on the line.
And I hope he's not on.
Is he on a bike?
I hope not. Ahmed, are you there?
Ahmed, are you there? Are you on a bike?
He's on.
Ahmed's not even there. Oh, Ahmed.
Pedal faster. What's going on here? I think these
might have been called to do. I can imagine he's been called to an operation.
Yeah, probably. Although these two
paging Dr. Ahmed. Paging Dr. Ahmed.
Yeah. That's a legger. Brad says, sorry lads, I'm out in the middle of nowhere at work. I'll try again next week when I have a Wi-Fi connection. What I was
Where though? Where?
Where you? Let us know.
Let
us know where you were.
Where are you?
Where are you? What I was going to say was it looks like we're trying to play up the wings and get our wing-backs to go forward to put crosses in. It just seems Patterson is a little bit tentative and not comfortable doing it. When we went to a flat-back four and Seamus stepped into his natural right-back position, you could see how he likes to drive up and wanted to put crosses in. He still didn't though, Coleman. He got in 3 times and didn't cross it because there was nobody in there, which is probably why Patterson won't put it in there. Another thing, Vinagre proved to me that he offers very little in defence. As for everyone speculating, I'm in a tractor. Cheers. He's in a tractor.
Oh, he's in a tractor?
But where are you in a tractor? Let us know.
So he's farming?
He must be farming.
Have a guess.
Ohio.
Okay, I'm going to say Missouri.
The shout.
Have we got Ahmed back yet?
Yeah, back.
No. Okay, sorry, I had their noise.
Right, where are we? Yeah. Bill says, I'd take Diaz. Conflicting reports if we're even in for him now. There's loads, Bill, isn't there? There's lots bouncing around. Mike says, I would have thought McNeil was a perfect replacement for the loft of Everton's talisman. Big JJK in Dick's eyes. Bill says, I think McNeil is more effective when we have a target man. Yeah, but that's the thing, isn't it? The big thing with Dwight McNeil will be when we've got Dom back and then he can get on the ball. There isn't anyone to hit in the middle at the moment. Mark says, thanks for keeping us entertained during what feels like the longest transfer window ever.
It does, doesn't it?
This one does seem particularly long, doesn't it?
It does.
Because there's loads of games as well.
Because the season started so early.
Where are we? RLT Trading says, Ryan says, lads, I can't watch Rondon anymore. There's nothing we can do, is there? No, the lad's going out and trying to do his best, but he's not good enough. Danny says, I reckon Dom's going to be a player we get maybe 15 to 20 full games for out the season. Our lack of goals is horrendous for a club like us. Rondon wouldn't make any other Premier League squad criminal. Johnny B says, recall Keane is the only option. I don't think we can, mate. We've got a contract set up with Juve. I don't think we can recall him. Earl says Rondon should be on a beach somewhere drinking Long Island iced teas, not starting for a Premier League team. And Steve says if Michalenko's been one of our best players, it shows how bad we've become. That's a little bit harsh, personally. Will says Michalenko and Patterson aren't good enough for the Premier League. No idea where that's come from either. It's a shame that they were just a lot of them repeating. Still haven't found out where Brad was.
I'm sure Brad will let us know.
I
don't think Michalenko has started brilliantly this season, especially offensively. I think I think the 5 at the back.
South Dakota. I was gonna go North Dakota, and I thought, no, I'm going Ohio. I'd have still been wrong because in South Dakota, but I would have been closer than I was. Fair play, Brad.
You know what's in North Dakota, don't you?
Dinosaurs. Oh no, dinosaurs. Low dinosaurs. South Dakota.
Dinosaurs are everywhere.
No, lots of.
Or are they?
Well, they're not now, are they?
Well,
lots of discoveries within South Dakota.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs. What's in North Dakota?
Mount Rushmore.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like.
There you go. I'm just telling you.
Something like, you know,
big,
JT or something.
It's a big thing, isn't it?
There you go.
I mean, you wouldn't go there to see it.
No.
Why would you be asked?
No.
You know what I mean? But unless you're looking for the gold, because of course National Treasure 2, that's where the gold is.
That's where the gold is.
That's where it is. Don't forget, give us a call. We've had Brad on his tractor, squeaky tractor. We've had Ahmed who had to leg off to do an emergency operation, I imagine, to save someone's life, because that's what he does. And Holger over in Denmark, he eating his Hafnia.
Scott said Yank here, sell Gordon, buy Pulisic, equals sorted.
Yeah, I'd have Pulisic.
Mm,
I don't
good
know
player.
if I'd go straight swap though, just because I
I
want.
said sell, go up and buy him. Mathew says, what a tune Dakota is, by the way.
Buy
Don't know.
Stereophonics.
Oh, Stereophonics,
Just
mate.
testing your knowledge there.
No.
Just testing your knowledge.
Um,
Rooney's favourite bands.
Johnny says Rondon is okay for the last 20 minutes in a 5-sub game.
Last 20 minutes of countdown.
Lowe says, I think if we're going to call out players for not being good enough, Miko is at the bottom of a long list. No, stop mentioning Mark Harry Winks, for God's sake.
Winksy! Shootable!
Maybe he will.
Harry Winks.
Maybe Big Harry will turn up here on deadline day.
Sitting out. I reckon he'll be
In his
sitting
car park.
in the Morrison car park.
Waiting for the call.
Waiting for the call.
I
That's
don't
what
know.
it'll be.
Listen, stranger things have happened.
Literally strange.
Literally stranger things.
What about the news? Just there's breaking news on.
Come on.
We are getting very near to where we are situated now at Tim Hooton's donut and coffee shop. What about that breaking news? How's that affecting your life?
Not really, I'll be
No.
honest, but fair play.
'Cause
I'll tell you what, I
very
started
big in Canada.
I
And
started catching up on Ted Lasso
oh yeah,
because I was watching it and then the subscription. It's good, but that Nathan's a little blur, mate.
Yeah.
I want to 2-foot him.
but you haven't watched. Have you not watched?
I've
it
watched
all?
the final.
Oh man,
I'm on the last episode.
you need to watch it.
I'm on the last episode.
See that when he spits in the.
I hate him, mate.
That's all. Wait till you see the end. When you see the end, honestly, it's full Arteta. It's full Arteta at the end. Just wait. You need to watch it tonight.
Okay.
And like message me going, oh my god, because you can message me going, oh my god, I've just seen lad, what's going on there, lad? Like that. Just do that.
Never do
What
that.
has gone on there, lad?
Chris says,
Where
I'm
are ya?
stating the obvious here, but the problem with looking for strikers isn't as simple as how many goals
No.
they score. It's can they do it in the Premier League. Che Adams, for me, fits the profile of a centre forward who'd suit the team. The championship players we've been linked with, I'm not sure on. The guy from Coventry, because he scores goals under pressure and attacks the spaces, from what I've seen.
I think it's...
He not good enough.
See, someone like Che Adams, I understood
As
straight
in,
away.
it's Coventry kid.
I understood straight away why they were looking at him, because he likes to close down the opposition, press from the front, scores the goals. Maybe he'll get 10 in a season, and he runs into the channels. And obviously he scored 4 in the last 2 games, which is probably just put a absolute nix on us signing him. But he is that kind of profile, isn't he? Of the don't forget Richarlison scored 10 goals, 11 goals last season, and he was our talisman. So it's not like you're looking for a 20 goal a season striker. You'd love one. I mean, apparently there's one sitting on the treatment table. But if you could add a 10 to 12 striker as well, who could also play in a 3-5-2, let's say, off Dom, then that to me makes sense. That to me makes perfect sense. But Everton have waited too long, and I imagine that would be a very, very difficult deal to do now.
Hasenhüttl come out and said he was our second top scorer last season. Why would we sell him? He's got 4 goals already. That was last night.
Yeah.
So why would we even think about letting him go? So maybe last week when he wasn't in the team and he hadn't come off the bench, but where are we? Nick wants you to do Tyson Fury.
He wants me to do Tyson Fury.
That isn't Tyson Fury.
I've got to get it in my head what he talks.
You big dother.
You big dother. I'll come out and I will take you to the cleaners, my friend. I will come for you. Eunice, you made my friend go mental in the ring. He couldn't even spray a can of Lynx on himself. That's how mad he was. You big dosser.
Okay.
It's a bit more.
Was a little bit got better.
A bit closer, wasn't it?
Got better. Your first one was
yeah.
John Bishop having a cob on or something. Stephen Niven says, would Ivan Toney come to Everton? I doubt it.
No. I don't think he'd like to bring his family in.
No, definitely not.
So,
not after last season.
Yeah.
And obviously 50 odd million, you'd need 60 million.
He's
Cam is coming at us live from the can.
From the can.
I don't know. That's what he's put. And then it's got confirm. So he's got, he can. I'm coming at you live from the, and then comma. So it must be the gym.
Yeah.
He can confirm I'm absolutely massive.
You're not though. You're not massive. I bench pressed you in America.
That is
I
true.
literally there's
That is
photographic
true.
in it.
That's true.
I bench pressed you.
I was there. It was true.
It was everyone was there.
It was true. We were all there.
And if I dropped you, God knows what I would have dropped you on, because there was a lot of things in that room. I mean, there wasn't a telly, but there was a lot of things in that room that I'm not sure they would have.
I don't know. I think he might at the end. I think he might have wanted it. He wanted anything. From the gym.
You big dosser.
You big dosser. There you go. Everton Clip says, with Richie, he was poor through the start and mid-season, but 3/4 of his goals and assists were at the end. Fair enough.
Had a lot of injury problems though, didn't he? Don't forget that.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that.
Say no. Pair damn huge lad, he says. Mark Cochran just been on the phone to Doctor Who trying to get Kanchelskis back. Cam says he'd have happily been dropped on an African piece of art with a dong.
Put a dong on it.
The dong. Yeah, if you like the thing, you should have put a dong on it. And
We are
on
Toffee TV Premier going to have to do a AOB where we talk about what happened in America without having any kind of restrictions, because there are stories that we just simply can't tell.
Candidly.
Yeah, there are stories that there are stories that we would offend a lot of people, and also we would we just describing some of the things we did. Have we got Ahmed on or Astro? Okay, we've got Astro. Astro, I don't even know where Astro is, because the last time I saw Astro, he was sitting in a cockpit. So
yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, the landing gear didn't.
Pardon? Hello?
The landing gear I heard.
And then I heard a frog.
Has he landed this plane in the bayou again? Where's he gone?
Why?
You know where he's landed this plane, don't you?
Brad,
South Dakota with Brad. Has he picked Brad up
What
on
is
the way?
going on with the American internet today? This is Biden's
Can you hear me?
So, go on, mate.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Hear me now.
No, hello.
Go on.
No. The damn landing gear wouldn't retract.
I hate it when that happens. I hate it when that happens. You're sitting there.
I do too.
You're ready to take Rainbow Six somewhere, and the landing gear won't go up.
Yeah. I mean, we couldn't. There's multiple ways to raise and lower a landing gear, and I couldn't get it to work. So yeah, we brought it home, and I got to call into coffee. Can you hear me?
Go on, you
Or is
just
it gone again?
you were just telling us like about the landing gear, and then right at the end of it, it just went off, and then I think you said it meant I can call you guys. So
yeah. So basically, what it meant was I could call you guys and sound like an idiot on Toffee TV. So hey, I got that going for me, which is nice. So yeah. I tell you what, we keep selling players. I'm actually waiting by the phone. I think I'm gonna get a call up. I've still got my boots.
I thought.
You know what I mean?
I think they might sell you.
They might.
Maybe
that's why nobody's talking to me anymore. I'm about to get sold.
Chelsea are looking for a guy to do inspirational speaking events for them to whip them up.
Well, I'll put it to you this: like Chelsea's going to spend more on me than they will on Anthony Gordon if they think I'm going to come work for them. I'm just going to tell you that now. I'm not cheap.
It wouldn't be Chelsea; it'd be Leeds, wouldn't it? Aren't they the new darlings of America? Now.
Yeah. Everybody's over here giving it the big, Leeds United, and it's like I saw that crap. Like I saw that crap this weekend, right? And I don't know. I can't. I don't know. Like I can't get behind it, and I just kind of keep looking at it. I can't get behind it. And I'm not gonna.
No, the worst one is there's a thing and it's got MLS Major Leads Soccer.
Yeah, but the minute Jesse gets sacked, which will be soon, then what will he do?
Why would Jesse get sacked?
Mate, they've had a start that they won't continue with.
No.
I'm telling you, they won't.
No, it's unsustainable.
Remember us last season.
Doesn't mean he'll get sacked.
It's Leeds.
Well, I mean, listen, you can only run around like your head's on fire and your ass is catching for so long before you run out of steam.
I wouldn't know. I've not seen one of those teams for a long time.
For a while,
mate. I wouldn't know what that looks like.
Well, yeah. I mean, the only reason I know what that looks like is because I've had to start watching other footy to see goals getting scored. I mean, you know what I mean? Because I mean, let's face it. Like Everton, like they're like me back in high school. Ain't nobody getting lucky. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just not happening. So yeah, no, I'm actually kind of worried. I'm actually very like I want to say this. I was really critical of Alex Iwobi last year, and I actually said that Alex Iwobi is where the attack goes to die, and that was really, really harsh. And I would like to formally apologize to Alex Iwobi because I honestly will tell you this. And you know he does. He watches. He's a big fan from what I hear. Yeah. Just like everybody else. Like everybody else. But like I actually went a little probably too far last night when I compared like the Bismarck with a busted rudder as being able to turn faster than Solomon Rondon.
Fair play.
And while it's factually accurate and true, it's still harsh. Yeah. But yeah, me posting a picture of the Bismarck calling, Rondon trying to turn, that it's harsh but fair. And I'm really like, all joking aside, like you guys are closer. Like somebody do something. Make these people sign somebody that can like attack and score goals, because like I've got a Georgia public education and I know that you got to score goals to win footy matches.
We're going to send.
So if I know it,
we're going to send Ned to Finch Farm to stand outside and like make sure he does something like really, really a big sort of he's gonna have to make a big thing outside, and those monks who set themselves on fire, not quite that bad, but something like that. She's gonna stand outside with 2 pyros, just stand there all night till Everton sign somebody.
And by the way, right, I got a bone to pick with that young employee of yours. He sat up in that studio, right, eating all that ket from like America. Yeah. Oh, I've never had a Slim Jim. I've never had a what was it? A Twinkie. Yeah. Boy, nuh-uh. I sent a whole box of stuff over there last year.
Yeah, no, and he ate most of them, by the way.
I was about to say he ate most of it, so I don't like that. I don't like that line of work out of him. You tell him that wasn't the first box of ket that showed up.
No,
it may be the last though.
Yeah, don't send him anything else.
Yeah, if he's gonna hoard it from you guys, I'm not gonna send it.
He just keeps it out the way, mate.
In fact, what's interesting though, just like there's 2 giant bars of dairy milk in one of the things there, and they're yours. You told them, Baz, that he wasn't allowed to take them anywhere, and they've been sitting there. And I don't understand, but it's a test. I feel like it's a test. I feel like it's a test to see whether he takes them, and when he takes them, he no longer works here. It's as simple as that. And it's what we're going to do.
Red line that can't be
what we're going to do is we're going to let them.
I'm taking one of the pitches now.
Well, there you go. You might get lucky. We're going to see
Maverick. I'm seeing it.
Oh,
with Mel Gibson.
You're going to see it. That is a boss film, though.
Yeah, it is. I watched it at the weekend. It's really good. Yeah, I watched it at the weekend. Really, really good.
Old Sam. So yeah. So there you go.
It is. It's good. Tom Cruise isn't human, by the way. He's not a human person.
No, he's not.
He's not human.
He showed the chair to Minnesota.
No, I'm telling you, he's not a human. Oh. He's definitely an alien. Honestly, good film.
Yeah,
good film. There's one minor little sticking point I have with it.
Well, don't tell me.
No, it's not. It doesn't give anything away. I just
people who say that normally give something away.
It doesn't give anything away. What I'm saying is, like, how old is Goose's son? That's what I want to know.
Okay, because you got to think about this. You see the kid in '86, right? And he's about 3 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
So that means that he would be born. So that means that he would be born in like '83.
Yeah,
so
which makes him 39 years of age.
Exactly.
He's not 39.
That's the only
and they're
part,
like, "Hey, kid, you're the future of this." And he's like, "I'm 39. I've got 7 kids at home. What are you talking about?"
Yeah,
I'm a granddad.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like Maverick ought to have been like a 5-star admiral, and there's only so much bad behavior that you can perpetrate and still stay in. Don't care how good you are at the job you do.
Yeah. There's a good theory about it, but I won't talk about it on here. I'll message you after because there's a good theory about it. I'd be ruining it for Baz ever mentioning it, but yeah,
I've actually heard that theory, and I think that is actually quite possible.
He's not going to talk.
It
is good. That theory.
I'm not going to say it. Okay. I'm not going to say it out loud because I would never listen. I am the guy who ruined the Phantom Menace for somebody. right?
No, the Phantom Menace ruined the Phantom Menace for people.
Okay, and while that is true, I have to admit that, like, I'd worked at Best Buy, which is like an electronics store, and we had all gone to the midnight showing, right? And I didn't realize that my manager come up behind me, and we were all at the smoke pit the next morning, and I was like raging about how Darth Maul got cut in half. Like, how are you going to create this boss villain and then cut him in half and throw him down the garbage disposal, in the first movie? And he was standing right behind me, and I didn't realize it. And I ruined it for him. He didn't like me to begin with. Yeah. And then he hated me after that. He put me on the worst shifts after that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That shows you how bad American employment laws are, that you can put people on bad shifts because they ruined the Star Wars film for you.
I did. Listen, to be fair though, that's just the tip of the iceberg of stupid things I did. I got to give him a little bit of absolution for that, because I wasn't exactly what you would have called a model employee back in the day.
To be fair though, it hasn't. You've been quite consistent, because you can't even get planes to fly now, and that's your main job. So,
no, I can't. I'm awful at it. I know, right? I mean, listen. I am just like Goose at that first scene of Top Gun, when the guy's yelling at him and points at him and says, "And you're just lucky to be here." That's me. That's me. Why do you think when I sent everybody Top Gun name tags, Baz got Maverick, you got Iceman, and I got Goose?
There you go.
Because I'm just lucky to be here. Like Toffee TV, I'm just lucky to be here. You know what I mean? If that's what you are, you got to be what you.
Do you know what's sad though? And I don't want to rub salt into the wound.
The fact that we can't sign a striker.
Nah, that's bad. But when we were in America, one of our Toffee TV premier members, Richie, who lives in San Diego, he was with us for a few days, and he was like, "I'll take when you come. You need to come to San Diego, and we'll take you to the Top Gun house." And he was like, he's telling us he'll take us to see all the sites on Top Gun, and you could have been there sharing your Top Gun knowledge with them, and unfortunately that didn't happen.
Is that the Top Gun house that Ned cut out of my birthday message?
Yeah, it is, that one. Yeah, that one, yeah.
The one where Richie purposely went to send me.
And Ned was like, I needed to edit it down to make sure it fit on my DVD player.
Cut it
there
out.
You go. There you go. It's been good.
You know what, right? I think that I would love to have heard more about why he didn't go to that House of Snakes in Minnesota.
We're going to do a show. We're going to do a show all about what happened in America.
You'll watch it, mate.
You'll be the things that went on.
The truth will be exposed.
The truth, honestly, bombs will be dropped. The truth bombs will be dropped, and Ned will not come out of it well, and he will not.
Well, I mean, listen, it's not like we got any football to talk about, so I'm absolutely.
This is the best conversation I've had all day.
You know what, right? Like, I literally wake up in the morning, right? And the very first thing that I do is I'm making coffee as I start following up on what's happened while I've been sleeping, right? And every morning I keep waking up and expecting to see. It's like Christmas morning, but you wake up and there's no presents. And it keeps happening. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't do a match reaction last night because I have to be honest. I didn't want to rant and rave like a lunatic, and I was like, I'm just gonna let this one be quiet for a little bit. But like, I'm like, Baz, I see your point, mate. Like, we got so much of the season left, and you're right, we do. But like, at the end of the day, think about how many points we'd already banked by this time last season, and we barely got out alive. So I'm very, very, I'm like every Evertonian right now. I'm more nervous than a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs at the old folks' home. You know what I'm saying?
It's the other way though. We started the season like a house on fire last season, and then went garbage. So say we start this one poorly and finish strongly.
I can dig that, man. I can totally.
That's
dig
David
that.
Moyes.
Didn't we finish last season strongly?
No, but the stand so much starts. David Moyes was the king of having terrible
bit in the
starts.
middle. That worries me.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll be decent in the middle then.
Maybe
stuck in the middle with.
And maybe Astro will get a plane to fly
and get his landing gear sorted out. You can get little blue pills for that landing gear, mate, if you're struggling.
Maybe Ned will go through a whole day without trying to eat something that's not his and actually doing some work.
Without
that's like rule 101. You learn that when you're like being socialized as a child. You don't eat other people's snacks. It's a good way to get yourself twisted up into shapes, uncomfortable shapes. You know what I mean?
Someone did send him a box of, as he said, a box of dried meats, and he can have that. That's his. Yeah. He can keep that. Take that home with him.
Done that on the plane. Stunk the plane
Oh,
out.
he did. He stunk the plane out.
Like,
he did.
opening
he
a beef jerky.
He opened a bag of
on
beef
the
jerky
plane.
on a plane. People around. Do you know how many different people we had to apologise to on the planes because of him and Cam? Cam's like, effing this, effing that, I deafing this, I deafing that, I deafing here, I deafing them. And we're like, you do understand there are people sitting around you. You understand that? He's like, have you seen my guns? They're effing massive. And Ned's sitting there going, I just want to go and see the effing lizards while eating beef jerky. And it was a whole thing, mate. It was a whole thing.
I tell you what, you guys, you almost deserve like a trip of your own just for undertaking that trip.
I believe we deserve special
Some
things.
Spa.
Yeah,
some special compensation. Yeah, some special compensation.
Spa and that thing
Nice.
that Will Smith has to just go, and you just forget some of the stuff we saw.
Punching people in the
Neuralizer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You need the Men in
I'd
Black
do that,
neuralizer.
yeah.
That's exactly what you need.
I might do that just and say I support Man City.
Yeah.
You know what's right? You know what's right though, right? Like my father-in-law, you hear me talk about him all the time, right?
Yeah, the monkey.
Like yeah. Dude, I got to tell you what, that man's mood turned on a dime. He was literally doom and gloom and everything's just, done and everything's awful and everything else. And my goodness,
that's football,
the text that I got Monday night from him being at that match were absolute gold. And you know what I have learned? I can totally get on board with somebody that enjoys just taking Liverpool behind the barn and whooping them.
There you go.
I mean, and I got to admit that Virgil van Dijk impersonation of Liam Gallagher at Nebworth 96, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. I really enjoyed it.
I honestly thought he called him Virtual Van Dijk.
Virtual Van Dijk. Maybe that's his new nickname, should be.
I honestly thought you called him
Van Dijk.
Virtual Van Dijk. I was going to say,
well, I mean, listen,
that's a good
he
one
was
for what he
virtual.
did.
He was virtually trying to stop that goal because if he was really trying to do it, he would have gotten in the middle of it.
It was a bit weird.
Liverpool are. I mean, I don't want to talk about Liverpool, but they are suffering from Brexit. They are stuck. There's things they need, and they're stuck in the ports. That's all I'm going to say. They're stuck in
yeah.
So there you go.
You know what, right?
Go on.
I was just going to say, you know how bad it is when all you have to enjoy is other people's misfortune. You know what I mean?
Last 25 years of my life, mate. Right there. Right there. Just people trip over, just pointing and just laughing and being like, that's the only joy I have in my life.
Truth.
That's why I like Ned being here, because you always know with Ned there's always going to be something worse. It's brilliant.
True.
There you go.
Thanks for all the hard work you guys.
Cheers,
are doing.
my mate.
I know it's not been easy being in there, but you guys are doing an impressive job, and I appreciate it more than you know. And up them Toffees. Hopefully
Cheers,
we'll
mate.
get some points this weekend. See ya.
Absolutely.
See you later.
Cheers, Astro. Bye, mate. Bye.
Cheers, later. Yep.
What a guy.
Just
What
a
a
bit
guy.
of fun to the world.
He does bring a bit of fun. He brings a certain amount of.
What now?
Last one.
Chris.
In 1 minute. Brad says, Ned, Ped, you've gone full Ned.
In what?
Mount Rushmore is in South Dakota.
Oh, wherever.
So does Gary Ward.
Is it? Sorry.
South Dakota.
My knowledge on that is based on National Treasure, and I honestly thought it was in North because I thought it was on the like the Canadian.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I knew it was at Dakota. I've got it wrong.
Bill says, do we set a deadline on selling?
Over there.
Do we set a deadline on selling Gordon, like literally tomorrow, or no deal?
It's not how it works, is it? It's not how it works. What you hope is Everton are doing deals simultaneously as the Gordon one, and if the Gordon one goes through, we can push ahead with those deals. That's all you can hope.
I mean, does Newcastle going for Isaac mean that we've got a better chance of getting
Chris Wood?
Stuff it. João Pedro. Interesting. And Phil Williams says, gutted Dele's leaving. What went wrong for the multi-millionaire Dele?
I don't know.
God knows.
Who knows?
Gray Lead says, Baz, you make these prophecies of other teams for coming seasons, and a few times it's bitten you on the arse. And many, many more have been absolutely spot on. And that's what happens, mate, in this. You see, the difference, what we do, is that if this was just like what a lot of people do, just in the pub. It never ever get mentioned. We do it.
I don't care. I said Alex Iwobi was the worst player Everton had ever bought in the history of the club. And I stood by that for 2.5 years because it was right. But things
and
change.
now you've apologised. So
I haven't apologised. I've just gone, sound, whatever. Nice one, keep doing it.
Yeah.
Less planes of you with a private jet. More pictures of you. You know,
being boss.
Right, we've got Chris on the line. Go on, mate.
How you guys doing? You all right?
You all right, mate?
Hello, Chris.
Yeah, to be honest, I actually just kind of wanted to have a bit of a rant.
Oh,
come on, mate. Rant away.
Rant away.
Right, obviously, I go on about all the time. You guys know I live in Nottingham, right?
Yeah.
So I went to the game on Saturday. So left at a good time, 11 o'clock. So normally means I get to Liverpool about 1:30, normally plenty of time.
Yeah.
The issue is I counted 2 traffic collisions. Each of those had an extra half hour onto the journey. And there were 2 sets of roadworks as well. It took me 4 hours to get to Liverpool. I didn't get into Goodison Park until halfway through the first half to watch what I witnessed.
You didn't miss anything in the first half an hour. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I could pretty much tell that as well. It did. The first thing you notice straight away is definitely we need a striker.
Yeah.
We desperately need a striker because watching Rondon run through Treacle was pretty interesting. But the main thing you do notice, like just going to the game as well, is watching Iwobi's turnaround is just so amazing. Like I was at the Arsenal game. I was in the Bulletins, and he was 1-on-1 with Aaron Ramsdale, and I just looked at him and I went, "He's not going to score."
Yeah.
What does he do? He hits it straight at the keeper. Now, when I watch him, he can just easily brush people off. He's got so much energy. What am I about?
What are you talking about?
Energy.
Enemies for?
Might have one of those.
Yeah.
Energy, dynamism in his play. It's amazing to just watch that improvement. The other thing as well is like a lot of people are still slating Lampard as like this horrendous, tactically inept manager. But when I'm watching the team, defensively, we do still look a lot better than last season. The midfield does look much improved. Yes, the attack is still very anemic. It needs a striker, but assuming we do get the right person in, obviously we won't know until the window's closed if Everton actually do their business right or correctly for once. I think we might actually be okay. Might be very early to say that, but if you look at the actual backline and the way the backline and the midfield has improved, I think the right attacker, I think will do okay this season. There's a lot of caveats in that, I will admit, but hopefully there is some optimism in that.
What I would say is, Christo, the ifs that you've just provided are absolute essentials. It's not like you're saying, if we buy this amazing number 10 that we're going to bring in from some foreign land. You've just said, if we had a centre forward. That is the basics of a football team, isn't it? That's like saying, if we had a goalkeeper, we'd probably save more shots. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
It is though, isn't it? How does a football team play without a centre forward? I just have no idea. You know, you don't put Dwight McNeil in goal, do you? You know, in the same way you don't put Dwight McNeil up front because he's not a centre forward. So Everton need to get that sorted. So I don't think it's too much to ask for. I don't think it's in the realms of fantasy to say, oh, if we had a centre forward, we should have a centre forward, and the fans should be demanding a centre forward because it's absolute negligence from everybody that Everton have only got Dominic Calvert-Lewin as a real centre forward option.
Yeah, that's true. The only excuse I can really give the club is that they just, from what they've seen, they've just not been 100% convinced by anybody. But then the argument against that is you have to basically go for someone because we can't go into the rest of the season with just 2 strikers. One of them is 33, has got like no pace left in his legs, and the other spent most of last season out on injury.
Yes,
that's a sign of it could be. Hopefully, it's just a couple of isolated incidents, and he's then fine for the rest of the season. But again, that's hopeful. You've got to prepare for those situations. So you are right as well.
Chris, I've got some good news for you though.
What's that?
You can leave Nottingham because Liverpool is getting a Hooters. So there is absolutely no reason to live in Nottingham anymore. Liverpool is getting a Hooters.
I used to go to Hooters all the time.
Why would you not go to Hooters all the time? Ned has not shut up about Hooters because he basically went for...
He's 21, of course
he was lying down in the toilet in Hooters.
To be fair, that's true.
In Minnesota, and that was the best. That's the best time of his life. So
Ned's 21 from England, loving going to a bar where there's loads of women in like really skimpy outfits.
Yeah.
Nah, really?
No, exactly. God help him when we get our Hooters. So.
Yeah. The problem is we used to go to all the time for like work meetings and stuff, and
work meetings.
Yeah, work meetings. Yeah. Well,
Okay.
their idea of a work meeting was Hooters for some reason. It was a bit. I'm not gonna lie, it was a bit of an odd one because like any of like the like girls or women who are just with us in the group is like, why are we going to Hooters? But
no more Nando's for us, Baz.
No.
Yeah.
Off we go to Hooters. Family restaurants.
Is a family restaurant?
Yeah, apparently.
Someone else's family.
That's a little bit ambitious. Well, it's a little bit ambitious to call it a family restaurant.
That's what I mean. That's what it's marketed.
When I was in America, I've took my family to Hooters lots of times.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you
I can't go to Hooters anymore anyway. They don't do any bloody vegan options.
Well, that's on you, isn't
Well,
it?
that's you.
Yeah, that is very much. That is
How
on me.
dare you try and save the planet? You know.
I know. I'm such a bastard.
You are. There you go. There you go.
Probably should, actually, I shouldn't swear on your channel.
Well, you just have. You'll get
Yeah.
it shut down by the FCC.
Yeah. I hope my Patreon money makes up for it, but probably not.
There you go, mate. There you
Top
go.
man, Chris.
Thanks
Unfortunately,
very much.
no worries, mate. I've got to go to band practice in a bit anyway.
Oh, band practice with his flute. With his flute.
He's good. We
It's
know
one
he's
time. No, I know.
guitarist.
Yeah, like I said, next time you want me to play, more than happy to do it because genuinely I love doing it for you
I
guys
want
anyway,
you
so.
to have a battle of the bands with Ned.
Just him v
Honestly,
Ned, just
you versus
guitar off.
Ned, honestly.
A guitar off.
Honestly. And the person who wins doesn't go to hell.
That sounds right. I'm going to hell anyway, regardless of how that battle comes out.
I don't know
No.
about
You're a
that.
vegan. There's no way you can go to hell.
No, it's animals I like. It's people I hate. That's the
fair
problem.
enough. People are the worst
gone
things on
down.
earth.
This has
Yeah.
gone
They're
down.
the worst
That's
things.
very
Without, if we had no people on Earth, then the Earth would be fine. No issues. So that's fair play to you.
That's actually a fact.
Maybe we're in hell. Nah, do you ever think about that? There you go. I'll leave you with that one.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
That is incredible.
4 hours on a motorway to get to watch Everton.
Maybe that's a punishment wherever.
That was 100%.
There you go.
punishment.
That's
Part
purgatory.
of the
That.
social experiment.
Chris,
Very much.
lovely to hear
Chris,
from
top
you,
man, mate. Go and enjoy
Mate,
band
have a good evening,
practice.
guys, yeah.
Cheers,
Speak
mate.
to you soon.
See you
Ta-ra,
later.
mate.
Ta-ra.
Ta-ra.
Bye bye.
Right, are we done?
I'm done.
Baz has got to go and see Maverick with Mel Gibson and James Garner.
Can't wait. See you later.
Jodie Foster was in it as well.
See you later.